Welcome back to the Future, the game. We're still on episode 4, and we have to go talk to Emmett.
Sonny! You do show up at the oddest moments. Where have you been hiding?
Do you really want to know? Okay, you really want to know.
Oh, you know, here and there, you're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady. You know, I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kin on your own.
Yes. Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine.
Yeah. You know what? Trust that first impression.
Yeah, well, sometimes first impressions are right. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
the rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked the rocket car, but more trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
Social utility. You know what?
You'll figure it out, Emmett. You only need a bolt of inspiration, that's all. Maybe if you went to a...
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy project.
The what?
It was Edna's idea,
What?
and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
Emmett, I'm a little confused here.
You had only one date, man. Come on now.
What day is it?
Why, it's opening day. The opening day of the expo. Which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay. Catch you around, Crockett.
October 12th. Doc?
There's yeah, that's not good. That is no good. Okay, so where the hell is Edna? Game, you're just guiding me, aren't you?
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, we're 2 months late. The expo's about to start, and teenage you is already getting over his head with Edna.
I always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That should have been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits. Now, the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Or worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being, I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Yeah.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed half of the couple.
Edna, where can I find her?
Where do you think?
Ta-da.
The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
And so remember this from the NES game?
You were right. There she is.
My soon-to-be ex-future wife is nothing if not predictable.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits?
Oh,
Don't be a pussy, Marty.
I'll talk to her. You better get the DeLorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All Car of the Future contestants need to report to the North Tent.
why not? Good luck.
You'll need it. Well, now guess who she's talking to?
Spell it B-R-O-W-N. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, for the love... Let me try this one more time. This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
It's not that I want to, but... oh, dear.
Mr. Crockett! You do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
Let's just say I'm preventing a terrible future.
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
Have I seen him? One moment, let me get... Have I seen him? Oh, nope.
No. Then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah.
So, I'm going Roger Rabbit on this one.
I don't get it. I mean, Emmett's nice and all, but he's not exactly the kind of guy that has girls swarming all over him.
Well, I'm not your average girl.
Yeah,
You
but...
see that.
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Crockett, but I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T.
Are you sure about that?
Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
Hey.
Just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Crockett. You know that? Well, his physical appearance, for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me.
Oh.
That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Oh!
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through.
Mm-hmm.
His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Uh-huh.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities,
Say, what's your game?
just curious, just trying to understand the female mind.
Of course.
Well, understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it? Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
Well, even all this, I'm still looking at him like, that. No, we're good.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Hey, Audie, you see my Oriole?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
Oh, if you only knew, bitch. If only you knew. So now, our plan is to do that. Our plan is to break it up. That's what we have to do. And we are actually going to take the DeLorean for a spin. Because we're actually going to do this.
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double-checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits...
Listen, I promised I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
It worked. Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
What?
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time ride wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Well, now. Well, game, I know what you were telling me to do. You were showing it to me plain as day. The train of the future!
My future wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Crockett. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I'd better go see what's keeping him.
You know what? I did that for you.
I'll go check on him for you. I was just heading there anyway.
No, you weren't. The last thing he needs is another distraction at the 11th hour.
But...
What's that? Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but... Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interest. You see, I know what you're up to.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
Go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
Wow, just flat out. Flat out. I know what you're up to. God damn. I got nothing after that, man. Just, okay, I know what you're up to. Just like that. Well, well, we know where we can go.
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Skitchin!
Emmett?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the Expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see, now what's next? Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interest at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now. In love with the woman of my dreams. Here, 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours?
6 hours.
Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time.
You're fine. It's cool. It's cool. You know, we'll fix you, Emmett. Don't worry. We fix you up, bro. That's not a problem. So let's see. We have to figure out how it all works.
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Thank you.
Hey, the test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
To you, maybe.
Scantron.
But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Ma'am.
Layabout. Is that machine calling me a slacker?
Yes.
No, your own physiological responses did.
Hey, I'd rather be a slacker, a working class slacker, than just being, you know, how should I say this, a snowflake. Okay, so what we need to do is, we need to start with the missions. So what I'm saying are, as you can tell, 3 colors like red, yellow, and green, like a traffic light. Red means stop, yellow means caution, green means go. In this case, red is dislike, yellow is sad, and then there's green, which is happy. That's the opposite. So you got dislike and like, and in the middle is neutral. So it's always going to be on neutral. So let's see, we got to do the following. So let's see, we have to use the feathering. Let's go to slide of answer.
Nothing happened.
Well, that button advances the slides during the mind mapping test. It only works while the test is running.
If I'm going to take Emmett's mind map, I'd better replace it with another one.
And that would be with,
The mind of a degenerate criminal.
That's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind-mapped helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
degenerate criminal.
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
Weird science! Real weird science. Yeah, okay, so let's see. To make him happy, well, you use the record player or lifting the pot of soup. Or you can make him unhappy by using generator or turning the handle on the bacteria tank. So let's do the following. Let's go to the generator. The generator. Wherever the generator is, or
Hey, could we watch Frankenstein on this?
Sorry, Sonny, but I need this projector to trigger positive and negative visual stimuli for my mental alignment test. Besides, a movie like Frankenstein should really be watched on a big screen, don't you think?
the generator.
I'd be careful of that if I were you.
Why?
Well, the rocket fuel experiment must have stripped one of the teeth in the hand crank. As a consequence, if you turn it for more than 10 seconds, it...
No!
sends out an electric shock.
That's the whole point. That's what we're doing. So let's see. Next. We go to the slide generator.
Emmett uses that projector to trigger positive and negative reactions to visual stimulations. I wonder if non-visual stimulations will work too. What's this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley citizens by their mental alignment. Isn't that cute?
Not really.
Really? Okay.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
So let's just do this. A little more. A little more.
Mind if I...
Go ahead. Ah, that'd be Mr. Needleman's card. I'll just put this in the stack with the other hooligans.
Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
Yeah, about 90% of Hill Valley thus far.
Wow.
It's a little disturbing.
Is it?
What's this typewriter do again?
During a mental alignment test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards, like the one for Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together, once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work.
Tannen's mind map. If Emmett's map looked like this, I bet Edna wouldn't think he's such a model citizen. I'd swap Tannen's card with Emmett's, but it's got Tannen's name on it. I'll just have to generate a new mind map for Emmett.
That's a photo of a Tannen. You've got to be serious. What in the world?
swapped Tannen's card with Emmett's, but it's got Tannen's name on it. I'll just have to generate a new mind map for Emmett.
Like so.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I'd better replace it with another one.
In which we do.
Swapping out Emmett's mind map with a crappier one is a great idea, but I should probably scan it with the mental alignment meter first.
So that's what we're going to do.
So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy or bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
Oh,
No kidding.
yeah, I definitely see that. Like, oh, hey, I just, yeah, It's like, oh, there's nothing going on. I'm sorry, but in this case, you want what now?
This button only works while the mind map test is active. According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps.
Wait, about.
That's not a great reading, but if I really want to get Emmett in trouble, I better aim for the bottom.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna do that.
Emmett uses that projector to trigger positive and negative reactions to visual stimulations. I wonder if non-visual stimulations will work too.
Next. Yeah, okay, that's what we want. John Wilkes spoof. Yeah, that's pretty much dark side right there. Can't get much worse than that. So we got that. Let's see, next we use the record player.
Oh, that's the stuff.
They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You see, I'm sort of independent. I am my own superintendent. My star is on the ascendant. That's why I don't care. I don't care what people think of me. I'm happy
What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The scientist that caught Kid tannin?
A small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
That's so good.
You look a little constipated.
What? Edna said I looked intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
I get the picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Heavy.
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographically cataloging my life.
Damn.
Dan, I've got an idea.
What?
Why don't I take your photo album over to Edna so she can pick out your new picture?
That's a great idea. She's got a better eye for these things than I do anyway. Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it.
Oh, that's progress. So next thing we do.
Don't turn it off. This is my favorite part.
It's Danny Parker. He's a cop, so I guess he's supposed to get a positive response from model citizens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is, but he's clearly a tannin, so I guess he's a negative figure.
Of course. Let's see. Next thing I had to do.
How goes the bacteria farm?
Not so hot. The bacteria have kind of gotten out of control. I had to put a clamp on the nitrogen tube to keep the stench from flooding the lab.
Guess it's already stinky enough in here. What's this?
That's a can of used motor oil, rocket fuel waste, and assorted chemical sludge left over from my abandoned rocket car.
Gross.
Accounting doesn't enter into it, but it is disgusting. Would you mind disposing of it on your way out?
Sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful. He's a slop. Next. Ah, process. Progress! Yes! Progress. That happened to me.
Hey, I remember that picture from Edna's apartment in 1986. It's a kid and a relative of Edna, so it's probably a positive figure.
And yet he looks like the Dalai Lama. Or that kid from the Golden Child. Next. That works.
That smells much better.
That should help. That was it. So now, we should get what we need.
That's not a great reading, but if I really want to get Emmett in trouble, I better aim for the bottom.
That's not exactly how I wanted to work, but it's progress. So, in order, at least he's a slacker. That's the part that just needs to be known. He's a slacker. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I'm going to stop here. In the next part, we get this straightened out. Then we move on to how to make a man of science back into a man of science. 100%. Stay tuned. More Back to the Future, the game, after this. Thanks so much for watching.